Welcome. Last time we spoke about Adele. This time we're going to speak about the realm of USPS. So, you're thinking about joining the world of USPS. Well, I got to be honest with you something. Buckle your seatbelts. Let's get right onto it. When I'm speaking about the USPS and its process, I'm only saying this because of experience. Now, this could happen to you. You might get the job really early, you might get the job really late in the game. However, I think everyone is gonna get the job pretty much 4, 3, maybe 5 months later. Maybe it could be 6 months later, only because of COVID. COVID has backed up a lot of not only the USPS world, but other jobs. So systematically, it works differently. So first things first, when you apply for the USPS, you're gonna do some questionnaires, and I think it's like over 100 questions. In order for you to get this job or be in the waiting game, you have to pass the test. I did not know that this was a test. I did not know that right off the bat as you're applying. Once when you apply and then you receive a email confirmation pertaining to the job, wait for certain more emails. It just expands out. But when you start answering all those questions, those are the tests. And these are like, the simple, what would you do if manager is, all these common sense questions. For you to fail at this, I feel like it will be really hard. So, but you guys are probably listening to this because you guys have already been into the game. For those who is thinking about applying for it, when you apply, I'm pretty sure they might tell you what your score is. If not, then you probably have to contact. When you're into the game, there is no script, so I'm just going off tangent right now. What else was I gonna say? Now that you're into the game, you're waiting. Don't worry. Just keep waiting. You're gonna get the orientation. When you get the orientation, they're gonna say, oh, now you could wait for the academy. For me, the academy took over 1 month after my orientation. The funny thing about this is, if you want to work after your orientation date, after you're waiting for all of for your academy, you could hit up your boss, or your boss will actually hit you up and say, hey, I need you to come and do parcels, which are Amazon packages. You're gonna do that, and it's gonna be nothing but repetition. But as you're doing it, I'm gonna say this is where things gets heavy. Okay, this is where things be like, okay, this job is interesting. It's cool that I got my LLV license, one of those big truck license now. After your orientation, you're gonna get your date for the LLV tests. After your orientation, after I believe it's 3 days of orientation, you're gonna get either 3 or 2 days of your permit test, if you want to call it permit or whatever, to actually, they'll teach you how to drive the government trucks. It's really easy. If you have your driver's license, if you know how to drive your own vehicle, I wouldn't even sweat about that. Not sponsored at all. Now that you are doing parcels, this is where things become very hefty. You're gonna start learning things. I don't want to generalize the USPS world, but I just want to throw this out there because not only am I saying this from experience, if you look at other videos, they're probably gonna say this as well. Then as you're working, your coworkers will say this as well. USPS world, I guess, is not really what you think it is. Okay, what I'm about to say, I'm not trying to scare you guys away. I think us human beings, we're able to adapt in any kind of jobs. But once when you're, it's kind of hard. You really have to be self-sufficient. The managers don't really like you asking a lot of questions. I say this because I got into a situation where, because I'm still new, I was asking questions after questions, constant questions like, yo, I need to learn. In order for me to succeed, I need to ask questions. They're like, no, I'm a manager for a reason. I need to advise you, so stop asking me questions and let me watch you. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, so you want me to fail and then you want to advise me. I didn't say that. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go walk right there. I walked and just like I had this package because I was trying to figure out where to put it. There were these acronyms labeled, and wasn't sure where exactly it was, so I was like, and then he comes back to me and says, it goes, I really hope when you guys get the job, you have a good manager that will help you out. I'm not saying my manager is bad, but the postmasters are the ones that are really busy when it comes to dealing with them. So you want to try to ask them as less question as you can, but ask the manager who is below the postmaster. The postmaster deals with other managers from other locations and so on and so forth. So yeah, I've only been working for about 1 month prior to the orientation. I just recently, last week, finished my academy. I'm happy about that. Now I can finally deliver mails. Here's one thing to keep in mind, and I'm gonna throw a few things at you guys, but try to remember these because these are important in order for you to succeed and to continue working at the USPS world. After you're done with your academy, this is what my person who taught me about the world of USPS. I could be wrong. Is that the 3 days or 2 days? The 2 days or 3 days training will actually, you will do hands-on, carry letters and literally deliver them. Now let's hop on to the next section. When it comes to delivering packages or mails, I have to say the packages are really easy to do because especially during winter, I mean, all you're doing is driving around and putting these packages in right in front of people's homes and whatnot, and coming back while the heat is blasted. I mean, it's winter, I'm feeling it, like I'm going out and then it's cold and like it's like once when you become a certified CCA, meaning after your academy, so it's really easy during winter. I mean, because you're gonna be feeling hot and then cold and hot and then cold. But that's a part that I don't like. You may think it's easy, you may think it's nice going back into the vehicle and feeling hot, but once when your body stops moving, during winter, and you go back outside, you're gonna be feeling cold. Before your academy, there's this thing called a shadow day. I think a shadow day is a day, 2 days. Now let me tell you something about this, okay? Because this is what happened to me, and hope this doesn't happen to you guys. For the city carrier assistants, you guys have to make sure before your academy, there's this thing called a shadow day. Make sure the shadow day is full day. Make sure they don't mess up your shadow day, because what a shadow day really is supposed to be is all you're doing is just following them and looking and observing what the city carrier assistance is doing. Now what happened to me is like my shadow day was only 3 hours. After that, they had me do packages. The person who I was following, just looking, she was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe I have to, train you. It's not even training. Like, I'm just, watching what you're doing. You don't really have to train me. So she had called the postmaster, where because it was the following day her holiday, so she was trying to get out as soon as possible. So then 3 hours later, next thing you know, I find myself running around with these packages with my head chopped off. Your shadow day, they cannot mess with that. Okay, they cannot mess with that. They can actually get in trouble if they don't give you a shadow day, or if they do give you a shadow day, and if it's like half a day, like they have to give you a full day of a shadow day. Yeah. Now, here's another thing that I was very eager to talk about. I'm sorry I'm throwing things, kind of like out of order. This is not script at all. This is completely, obviously, right off the bat. A lot of people that I'm starting to get to know is like everyone in the world of USPS. They're old. They're literally getting ready to retire. So if you're entering as a city carrier, as an 18 years old, that's really good. This means that after I think it's 25 or 30 years, you get to retire. So if your last salary when you retire is $100,000, you get to make 80% of that. So you're just gonna be sitting down on your couch, and money like over $80,000 will just be coming your way after like 25 or 30 years. It also varies. It has to. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So that's real good. But here's the thing with this. The question is, when you had applied for this job, just know that this is a career job. This means that you're gonna be, if you have passions, if you're into filmmaking like me, if you're into other things, dancing, going to the gym and working out, and so on and so forth, they have to come number three. Number one is obviously family. Number two is CCA. Like, you have to work every day, Monday through Sunday, and expect yourself to work no longer than 80 hours a week. They can get in trouble for that, but you have to expect yourself to work more than 12 hours a day. So as soon as this shift starts, you don't know when you're gonna get out. This is how the world of USPS works because of COVID. I'm sure, after COVID, hopefully things, but your passion will go away. So it's all up to you if you think it's worth it. I think, the money is definitely worth it, but you have to have, I don't want to say no family, but like, you literally have to be okay with what you're about to enter to, because the world of USPS, that has to come, second. Like I said, family's first. But my postmaster called me because he knows that I'm into filming. He's like, so is this the right job for you? And I'm just thinking like, then he's like, because, I know you do filming and whatnot, but this job has to come first. And I'm just like, again, now I know what I'm getting myself into. The money is good. The benefit is good. After 2 years, you're guaranteed to become a regular CCA, which means that I guess they won't send you to different locations. Like, you could just stick to one route. I think that's pretty cool and whatnot. This job is definitely like, you have to be up on your feet, and like, you're gonna get fast at it. You have to get fast at it, and like, if you're just slow at it, like, over time, they're gonna speak up and be like, hey, this is not the job for you, because if you're not willing to be fast for this job, this is what this job is all about. You have to you know, be literally up on your feet like constantly. This job is a great job. So just know all of this before you make your huge decision, because once when you start working at this job for the first month, at least for me, it will start out really slow, only because you're learning, and then they're gonna start giving you a lot of hours, and then you're like, oh wow, look at all this money, man, I'm working over 60 hours a week, this is awesome. And maybe 2-3 months later, like, oh shit, oh what did I sign up for? So if you accept it, you're gonna be okay with this job. There's gonna be more ups and downs, but if you have a passion, like I graduated with my broadcasting and journalism into media production, and like I love to get paid and edit. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. If you have a passion like that, it's something else. You gotta ask yourself, do you want this? Are you okay with throwing your passion away for something that's like beyond sustainable? Like right now, sustainability, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. This job is definitely stable. They'll like, okay, you see this bat? I'm gonna hit you with this bat. I'm saying this metaphorically. Hit you in the bat right on the butt, and that bat, the impact is literally the hours, and like next thing you know, you're the ball and you're just flying. You just keep going, because they're just giving you lots of hours. That's a really weird metaphor scenario that I was trying to. Anyways, hope you guys. I mean, that's pretty much about it. Give me about 1 minute. Let me see if there's anything else I could talk about before I So it took me about 5 months to get this job. You're gonna get it, and when you get it, you start out with the orientation. Was like 2 weeks. After the orientation, it's 3 days. After the 3 days of orientation, by the way, you're getting paid for it. You go for your training. It's not a test. I call this training because if you know how to drive, then you're good. I think it was 2 days. Yeah, 2 days of training. No, it was 1 day of training for certification for your LLVs. That's what they call it for the USPS trucks. That looks like kind of a tank. Not really, but like I think it's interesting. Then after you're done with that, they're probably gonna be like, okay, come to the USPS Amazon packages. Excuse me. You'll get to learn, everything about it. They'll even send you to different locations. Write your hours down, please. I'm begging you. Write your hours down. You're welcome. Yes. On your first day, write your hours down. Trust me. Once even your first day of orientation, you're gonna think of, oh yeah, that guy said write your hours down. Okay, first day. Okay, I'm gonna write my hours down. After the orientation, you're gonna be working. They're probably gonna call you and say work, and then probably a month. It could take longer to 2 months for your academy. Well, thank goodness that you're working and delivering Amazon, so you pretty much have hands-on for that. And yeah, and see what you guys think. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've talked about everything else. Well, that's it. Hope you guys like this video. If this helped you out, if you guys got any questions pertaining to the USPS realm, or if you're a new hire, or I don't know, something, comment below and I will reply back as soon as possible. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because me being passionate about filmmaking, in order for me to grow my YouTube channel, I need your support. So this channel is still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this channel, because it's kind of all over the place. Yeah, I mean, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning. Peace out.